Hello there again, everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Let's get some questing done, shall we? Friend, hear my plea. As you have no doubt observed, many poor souls in this camp suffer from afflictions most grievous. Indeed, it is to deliver them succor that I have made the journey here from Ul'dah. And yet I fear that my efforts thus far have been for naught. The residents are most distrustful of outsiders, particularly those hailing from Ul'dah. They look upon my medicine as if it were poison. Were an adventurer such as yourself to deliver the elixir, perhaps, they would be willing to accept it. I have no one else to turn to. Will you go in my stead? Adventurer, I fear I have no time for pleasantries, but I would be much in your debt if you could perform for me a simple task. To wit, I need you to slay a rock-skin Pisces and obtain for me a secretion of its poison. If you've seen one of those fearsome reptiles, as I reckon you have, you know that their scales are as hard as solid stone. This acid I give you, however, will cut right through it. I haven't much, so pray use it well. Some of my countrymen are not quick to trust outsiders, but I've no time to entertain foolish prejudices. But this is a matter of life and death. If only I could stop stumbling over my own words. Me throat, it burns. Medicine, you say? Ah, good. I'd sooner drink sand-warm piss than that Ul'dah's swill. Okay. Well met, adventurer. I'm Giselbert, head of security here at Little Alamigo. I heard tell that you had business with Gundebold. Knowing the bristly old bear, I don't doubt he told you to bugger off. Owing to their hardships, the refugees don't trust anyone but themselves. Not even my men, and I can get so much as a word of thanks out of them despite watching the place day and night. But thanks or no, I try to help my fellow man when I can, and you seem a decent sort. If you tell me what's brought you here, it might be as I can lend a hand. On the trail of a masked villain, you say? Can't say that sounds familiar, but I have men on the lookout for Omolja to the south of here. If there's been any suspicious activity, they are like to have seen it. I had a mind to take them each a cup of sweet Thanalan tea, so as to lift their spirits. If you were to run this little errand in my stead, they'd be all the more willing to tell you what they know. Greetings and welcome to Little Alamigo. My name is Edmund, and I represent the Adventurers Guild. The people here need any and all help that happens their way. But you have come to lend a hand? If so, you must first undertake a trial. Yep. And now I'm hunting for Voinsen. Oh, there's somebody over here. Hello there, Miss Annabelle. What have you got for me? Adventurer, I would have your ear. Have you perchance visited the ruins south of here? It is said that they date back to the era of the Beladians. As a student of history, I was delighted when my superiors sent me there on patrol. My delight soon turned to dread, however, when I discovered the terrible truth. These ruins are haunted. Yes, you heard me right. Spectres of Belladia haunt the place to this day, and my limited training has hardly prepared me to face such horrors. Would you be so obliging as to take this holy water and shepherd the lost souls to Thal's realm? I don't see any people down here I need to talk to, so they're probably above. Whoop. 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 I can't breathe. Another phony elixir cooked up by those Uldon quacks. Be gone from my sight. What is it, outsider? Come to mock us in our suffering? Go ahead and laugh. Laugh at your heart's content. Pfft. That's what I think of you outsiders and your medicine. I'd rather die with dignity than owe my life to Uldon. To Ulda. Ouch. No luck, I see. Take heart, friend. You did what you could. Age-old wounds are not healed so easily, but I must not give up this cause. After giving the matter some thought, it has struck me that perhaps it is not me that the refugees so distrust, but rather the medicine itself. The Alamegans are wary of outsiders, this is true, yet I suspect it is the thought of ingesting an alchemical concoction of Uldon make that frightens them most of all. A naive girl's wishful thinking, perhaps, but it is the only hope I have. There is a kindly old refugee by the name of Alphen, the only one thus far to accept my treatment. Might you speak with him and ask if there is any truth to my theory? Maybe these people are just anti-vaxxers. Hail there, young one. What brings a one as hale and hearty as yourself to this God's forsaken place? Ah, Hira. In me years, I've seen many an outsider come and go, but none quite like that girl. I don't begrudge me countrymen their judgments, of course. Gods know they've seen Ulda at its worst. But it's clear, even to me, clouded old eyes, that the girl means well, and I can't bring myself to scorn her good intentions. But forgive me, you were asking about medicine, were you not? We Alamegans aren't much for alchemy, but we've got our fair share of remedies passed down through the years. Steep the fruit of a savatender in hot water, for instance, and ye get a tea that'll soothe the worst of fevers. Call it an old man's hunch, but I have a feeling that even the most stubborn of me countrymen would gladly down a cup of cactus tea, even if it were the old Don lass who did the brewing. Probably best to deal with the quests I can see. Oh, well, it's not haunted, but it is filled with undead. Tempered Soul. Does that mean they are undead thralls of primals? Okay, you come over here, please. Keep coming. Keep coming, friend. I just don't want to accidentally hit it. Remarkable. You adventurers truly are as valiant as they say. I must devote myself to my training, that one day I, too, may be capable of such deeds. Don't like that they're stacked on top of each other like that. You return, adventurer. Have you brought me the poison I seek? Strong, sour smell would give it away if used in food or drink. But it works just fine when applied to weapons or used in poison potions. On behalf of my countrymen, you have my thanks. Forgive me for my brusqueness before. Or skirmishes with the Corpse Brigade have taken a great toll on us of late. They employ poisons ever more lethal, and our antidote stores were running low. I must attend to my potion brewing, but thank you, outsider. Because of you, the men and women of the Resistance live to fight another day. Thank you for your kindness, outsider. I would ask you to help our suffering people once more. A most deathly strain of fever runs rampant in Little Alamigo of late, and while I have succeeded in isolating the cause, I am powerless to remedy it. The fever is borne by an elusive breed of wasp, you see, and only by exterminating the pests may we put an end to the epidemic. It would seem the wasps are drawn to the pungent scent of rotting carrion. Douse this cactus piss over the carcasses of some unfortunate creatures, and they should quickly swarm to the scene. A traditional Alamigan remedy made from steeping the fruit of a sabatender in hot water? Why, I had no idea. I owe Alvin my gratitude. Not to be confused with cactar fruit, which, while similar in color, flavor, shape, texture, toxicity, hardness, and rarity, is nothing like its sabatender counterpart. Okay. One, 2, 3 cups of cactus tea. Oh, I do hope I've not overbrewed this. Please, friend, deliver the tea to the suffering refugees. Me throat, you again? I told ye, I'd sooner drink. To make cactus tea, sabatender fruit is dried, ground into a fine powder, and then left to sit a full night under Menfina's gaze, to frighten away the spirit of the sabatender that dwelled inside the seeds. The powder is then added to boiling water and stirred until a foam forms upon the water surface. The foam is given to break fever. The remaining liquid discarded under a rock found to the north of the patient. What? Sounds like some weird quackery, if I've ever heard it. Is that cactus tea I smell? Stop dawdling and hand it over. Can't you see I'm suffering here? Tell the Uldon wench that I'll have none of her foul alchemy. Cactus tea, just like my dear mum used to brew it. I don't know where you came by this, but you're a godsend. Go to the grave before I'm gold by Uldon quackery. Here, have some Alamegan quackery. Old Alphin's recipe, no doubt. I'll drink it, but if the Uldon girl thinks a cup of tea can heal years of suffering, she'd best think again. Also, I only call it quackery because of what I've read in the description of having to discard it to a thing up north of the patient. They truly drank it? Oh, how I have waited for this day. Even I am not so foolish as to think that I have earned the trust of all the refugees, but on the long road to peace and understanding, even the smallest step matters. Still have other cups of tea I need to deliver. I forgot to read the description. So that's fine. At least I have another one. Ugh, flesh flies. See if I can find other ones to tangle with. Here we go. A potent potable brewed from a sabotender fruit by desert alt-goat herders to help them forget the fact they are alt-goat for the to forget the fact that they are alt-goat herders. Who the hells are you? I'm trying to conserve energy here, so leave me alone. Piping hot infusion. Oh dear, hot in this weather? Of freshly picked young Thanalan tea leaves mixed with rich alt-goat cream and a generous spoonful of golden cactar flower honey. Well, ain't ye considerate? My thanks, friend. What's that? A masked villain, hidden among the refugees like as not. We compatriots as live here go about as though they're dead on their feet. 'Tis near impossible to tell what's on their minds. For all I know, they're all up to no good. You there! Are you in the Muldra? No. Then carry on. Ah, the sophisticated aroma. It has been forever since I had a drop of sweet Thanalan. I'm going to enjoy this. What? A masked man? Don't care, unless he's got dark, scaly skin. Stands 10 fulms tall, and has the face of a lizard. Then I don't give a mummer's fart. Shoo! Don't bother me. And the Amuldra, if the Amuldra overrun us, I'm blaming you. For me? You shouldn't have. Sorry? A suspicious masked man? As a matter of fact, I caught a glimpse of someone fitting that description during patrol. Well, I couldn't quite make out whether it was a man or not, what with the mask and the robe, but assuming it was a he was talking with some Alamegans. I assumed he was one of them. Thank you, friend. With the wasps gone, it is only a matter of time before the epidemic subsides. You may be an outsider, but you have brought more succor to my people in a day than I have in many a month. We are a humble people. I have not the means to properly express my gratitude. It may not mean much, but know always that you have a friend in little Alamigo. Ah, you're back. So did my lookouts have aught to share with you? That doesn't sound like much to go by. If you're to get any further in your investigation, seems to me you'll need the cooperation of the Alamegans. For this, you'll need to win their trust, and that won't be an easy task. You're telling me. Okay, so this is going to end up replacing both my boots and pants. So you're determined to press on with your investigation? Then I have some advice to offer. As I said before, you won't get far without the Alamegans' trust. And the best way to win that trust is to get a compatriot of theirs, someone they respect, to vouch for you. Coin does the talking in Ul'dah, but the Alamegans are bound by something far stronger, if not as tangible. A common purpose. That purpose is, of course, the liberation of their home from the Garleans. Gunbold belongs to the Alamegan resistance, so your best bet would be someone who's part of the same crew. If you know any well-connected people, you might want to start by asking them. And so I must go back to Minfilia. I really need to clean out my inventory. Mostly through crafting, so I can get a hold of some of these other things here. Nothing in here has changed just yet. Welcome back, Byrnjolf. How fares the investigation? I see. Given all that they have suffered, it is of little wonder the Alamegan refugees have lost faith in their fellow man. They have had their homeland taken from them, and for the past 2 decades have had to see it remain in the enemy's clutches. To compound matters, none of the 3 city-states have the means to take in all those who were displaced. As a result, a great many Alamegans now live on the margins of society, suffering poverty and discrimination. Would that more could be done to ease their hardships? I fear that nothing short of reclaiming their homeland would be a lasting solution. But let us deal with one problem at a time. Returning to the matter of your investigation, it just so happens there's an Alamegan native young... There's a... It just so happens there is an Alamegan native among the Scions. I should be pleased to introduce him to you. I got them big beefy legs. Your Alamegan comrade is named Harbert. He joined our cause in the hopes that he might find a way to liberate his homeland. While he spares no effort towards that endeavor, I have no doubt that he would be glad to assist you. If I recall correctly, Harbert is currently between missions. Try looking for him in the storage area. If it isn't Byrnjolf Nordin, Scion's rising star, is there aught I can do for you? You wish to win the trust of the people of Little Alamego? That is a daunting task, my friend, even for our own countrymen. I would like nothing more than to help, but I'm afraid my name no longer carries weight with that lot. I used to be a member of the Alamegan Resistance, you see, but I left in favor of joining the Scions. Though my allegiance may have shifted, my purpose remains ever the same. The liberation of Alamigo. Yet, whatever my reasons were, I abandoned my comrades, and they'll have nothing to do with me. Now, while I may have no more friends in the Resistance, I know someone who does. Her name is Albreda, and she is a resident of Quarimel. Say my name when you meet her, and she won't lead you astray. Okay, so the quickest way to Quarimel would be through the area, through High Bridge. So let's get going, shall we? Oh, that's where my feisty little chocobo is. The unmistakable smell of chocobo clings to you, adventurer. Would I be correct in assuming that you have your own trusty steed? Aye, I thought so. Now tell me, is your bird battle trained? If not, you might consider seeking the advice of Luke Quillat over at Bent Branch Meadows. The Ishgardian native is something of a prodigy in all matters concerning our fine feathered friends. He should be able to help you attain greater affinity with your bird. Here's what I want. Oh, there you are. I'll make my way to the Bent Branch Meadows now and take care of this. Then I'll head back to Quarry Mill. Greetings, adventurer. Is there something you need? You wish to have your chocobo trained in combat. This is no small request you make. Riding your bird is one thing. Asking it to take hurts in your name is quite another. I will help train your chocobo, but on the promise that you will never unduly expose it to danger. Do I have your word? Very well. To begin, we will need a bunch of Geisel greens. You have my leave to pick one from the fields yonder. Return here when you have it. Can't I actually buy some? Or is it locked out until I can actually summon my chocobo? No, I can buy some. Sure. Have you acquired the greens? Superb. Then we shall get straight to it. Doubtless you already know this, but chocobos are highly fond of Geisel greens. They love the leafy vegetable so much, in fact, that they will completely forget their fears in the face of danger. Thus, by feeding your bird greens, you can prevail upon it to fight beside you. And then once called, it will be up to you to direct its actions as you see fit. You will find that your chocobo innately responds to a number of general commands. Give your bird an order, and it will act accordingly, and to the best of its ability. This simple yet effective methodology was developed by the Fortemps family. Ooh, the Fortemps. One of the foremost houses of Ishgard. And that concludes your lesson. Of course, it is not enough to merely hear about a practice. One must venture forth and attempt it oneself. Summon your chocobo with a bunch of Geisel greens, and together make your way to Sorel Haven. The broodses that prowl the area ought to be a suitable challenge for you and your companion. Put down 3 of them and return here. And lastly, by way of advice, I would recommend you keep an ample supply of Geisel greens on your person at all times. A resident vendor will be able to provide you with as much as you can carry. Companions now available. What? If I use 2, I increase the time, right? Yes, I do. It's a beautiful looking animal. These quests I'll grab when I have to do the Hawk Manor. Those are Lindworms, not what I'm looking for. Ah, there they are. Enemy in sight. Attack! Man, those things are weird. So, you have successfully negotiated your first few battles with your chocobo? Well done. Tell me, how did it feel? Was it not supremely reassuring fighting with your feathered companion? Your chocobo can make up for your shortcomings or build upon your strengths. Indeed, there are countless ways the two of you might complement one another. Through some experimentation, you will come to find the approach that serves you best. Before I forget, I have one last parting gift, a saddlebag for your chocobo. Carrying Geisel greens about can be quite cumbersome, after all, and there should be sufficient room for your personal belongings should the need arise. I pray it serves you well on your travels. What is this? Greetings, sir. Tell me, how goes the training for your avian mount? I could not help but notice that there is some bias towards real-life combat. All battle and no bonding makes for a less noble bird. I see that you already have a fine residence of your own. Not really, it's the company's, but it's a nice place. Why not build a stable for your chocobo? I'm pretty sure Sky already got that taken care of. Closeness leads to fondness, and there are other perks. Indeed, I could tell you of those and more, if you wish. We of Ishgard have a knack for chocobo husbandry. We have forgotten more than Gridania will ever know, I fear. One Ishgardian knack is to stable chocobos at one's residence. That makes it possible to train and feed the birds. The second knack is to keep the stable meticulously clean and picked up. That's probably... it's probably really, really dirty. Chocobos are cleanly creatures and easily distressed by slovenly housekeeping. Shall we get straight to it? Pick up every vegetable scrap littering the stable, if you please. Have you collected all the vegetable scraps? Very good. I will take those. The place is as fresh as cream. How well the chocobos look, fluffing their feathers in contentment. You would do well to lay in a magic broom. You shall need to use those for a proper cleaning, but that is for another time. There is more to stable care than simple cleaning. And that brings us to the third Ishgardian knack, fresh feed. I am not the aptest tutor for this craft. However, there is one that has the knack right here in Bedbranch. That would be Mistress Margold, the resident botanist. She is in charge of all cultivars maintained here for the chocobos. Go to her and beg a few greens and information from her. She will not stint you on either. Some feed for your chocobo? You've come to the right place for it. It has been a warm spring. Try the Krakow root. Many birds who would otherwise go off their feed cannot resist these luscious roots. We raised them with love as well as skill. Master Lucolot likes to call that a knack. I've no quarrel with it. There's a joy to grow, whether it be vegetables, chocobos, or the skill in one's hands. Why not try your own hand at growing vegetables? You say you have a house. A house must have a field. Food grown with your love and care. How could your bird not thrive eating feed such as that? Mayhap we are not what we eat. Elsewise, my father would be a codfish, a swim in butter. But the feed certainly makes Chocobo's eye. So sensitive is their nature that you can see the effect of a particular feed as clear as day. But I have yet to tell you about the main feeds. You are sure to be fascinated. Shall we ever tire of speaking of the Geisel greens? Precious, luscious plants you can summon and train your birds with these greens. But as wonderful as Geisel greens are, they are hardly unique in being attuned to specified areas of a chocobo's abilities. The art of raising a chocobo involves choosing a balance of these vegetables to feed to your bird, thus creating a chocobo that is, well, just so. The best laid plans for wranglers are often frustrated by a picky eater. To make sure you come to know each bird's likes and dislikes, there are no pieces of magic to bend to your will. But when bird and man grow together, why, you might discover something very special indeed. You would do well to grow your own feed. Might as well fight with a pine sword. To raise a chocobo without a vegetable field of your own. Visit a store to buy the seeds, and remember, love and skill. There's the knack. I do go on, don't I? You came for a handful of feed and got an earful, but that's the way of it with us botanists. Take this fine specimen of a crocker root to your sweet chocobo, and I wish you both the joy of it. Were you able to collect some chocobo feed? Margold is never stingy with her vegetables. An unbelievable oversized crocker root, certain to make any chocobo the happiest bird in the realm. This particular specimen was given to you by Moogle's gift mount's stable hand, Margold Shortmane. As fine a crocker root as ever I have seen. A magnificent specimen. This will make the training all the more effective, I believe. We come to the fourth knack of chocobo husbandry, Byrnjolf, training. I heard regular Keitha about her work. There's a thought. Go and speak with her. She will tell you much and more of training chocobos. Nice to see you, adventurer. Here to learn about training your bird, you say? Stable your chocobo and you'll be able to train the sweetheart. But you need to give him a treat straight after and not a moment later. What I do is to go pick up a choice bit of feed before I get the bird into training. The results vary as that slick ruffian at the Ebony Stalls used to say. Around here, results depend on how clean the stables are, what treat you give. But long as you love your chocobo, it's hard to muck it up. Well now, got a fine root? A crocker root on you already. That'll work a treat, no pun intended. Go on, start training little Leia there. It's a very happy bird. That was sweetly done, venturer. You've some skill at this, I reckon. Some are made to train just that one bird, but you can handle any chocobo. Some venturers share a stable, you know. Might be you could care for birds other than your own. You muck out the stables, that means you're helping raise the other adventurers' birds as well as your own. Don't matter who did the mucking out. Really? Those birds have been cared for, you see. That ought to hold you for a while. Aye. No use pouring too much wine into a cup. You'd best return to Lukalot before the Ishgardian brain case starts imagining the worst. Sweetly done. High praise indeed from Keitha. Excellent, excellent. I have now taught you all the knacks you must needs know at this time, I believe. It is my hope that you will add a stable to your residence, and there raise a chocobo to serve as your brave mount and trusted companion. How I long to meet that bird someday. I trust you will not disappoint me. Okay, back to Quarry Mill. Greetings, adventurer. Perhaps you have heard, but these forests have fallen prey to a band of poachers. They litter the ground with dastardly snares, caring not a whit for the innocents. Small animals and travelers alike, caught in their vile clutches. I am forbidden to leave my post, but perhaps you could scour the area and see to any ghastly steel maws that you encounter. Be careful. The poachers themselves may be lying in ambush, awaiting their prey. Mayhap you've heard the tales, but the place they call Red Belly Hive wasn't always a wretched nest of scum and villainy. In the old days, it was home to a hamlet called Bowbury, where Heer and Elizan alike lived a life of peace. That was before the calamity came, and all hells broke loose. Those red-belly whoresons moved in when the villagers fled, and they've had their run of the place ever since. It is our hope to win the village back, but the red-bellies are no common outlaws. They read our every move from Malms away. That's where you come in. But say you enter the wasp's nest and take the sting out of those bastards. In the days before the calamity, my grandfather was village elder of Bowbury. We tried Gods be good. We tried to reclaim his home, but to no avail. Passed away last year, he did. With his last breath, he spoke of a family heirloom, an axe passed down for generations. Now those red-belly horse sons use it to split wood, mocking us all the while. The 12 take me if I allow those bastards to besmirch grandfather's memory any longer. You'll bring it back for me, won't you? Welcome, friend. Many of your kind come to Quarry Mill, seeking a respite from their hardships of adventuring. Might you care to put your troubles aside for a day and live the farmer's life? Old Fox in the orchards to the north has quite a harvest on his hands this year, and knowing him, he'd be much obliged for a helping hand. Bloody scofflaw! You'll not escape the wood whaler's justice. You adventurer! One of those loathsome poachers has fled into the village and hides under our noses as we speak. You are to join the search effort at once. That's an order. Hello there. Don't hurt me, I beg of ye. I swear on me life, I never meant to do no wrong. But with me brother sick and starving, when they promised me the money for medicine, what else was I to do? You have me word, from this day forth, I'll earn me coin by honest work, or not at all. You'll show me mercy just this once, won't ye? 12 bless your gentle soul. nice little spot here. What brings an adventurer to my humble orchards? Set your sights on bright apples rather than beastkin today? Well, I, for one, am mighty grateful for that. These bones aren't fit for climbing, as they used to be. I'd be much obliged if you could pick some apples for me. Oh, and you'll want to make sure no creepy crawlies are hidden inside. Well, I've never seen one of these in an apple before, but I've seen ones with worms in them. But really disgusting worms, like whitish worms. I don't know what they are. Yeah, I've seen people just pull them out of the apple and then just eat them. That was really gross. And again, I remember hearing how they used to eat worms, so. Back so soon. Let's see what you've got in that basket of yours. Sister of the Fairy Apple, developed by the Great Loam Growery to better withstand the elements, while yielding larger harvests. Well, I'll be. Just the sight of your harvest has me mouth-watering. You've an eye for apple picking, my friend. I've a daughter just around your age. Let's say you settle down here when you've had enough questing for glory. Friend, feast your eyes on this. Why, I've not been blessed with a harvest the likes of this in, well, as long as I can remember. All I've done is the pickin'. It's the guardians of the forest that brought me this bounty. I'd give thanks myself, but what with those poachers around, I'm like to end up with an arrow through me head. Might ye be kind enough to go make the offering in my stead? And on your return, bring an apple to Castellane. He's been looking gaunt of late. Hello, I'm Neil. I work for the Adventurers Guild. Not looking for a job, are you? But of course you aren't. In any case, I'm contractually obliged to tell you that I have in my possession the details of such needful tasks as have been set forth by the residents of Quarrymill and the surrounding areas, mostly involving the slaying of monsters and the procurement of goods. All in all, terribly dangerous work, or so they tell me. Should this idea appeal to you for some reason, I may add that I am required to assess each volunteer's chances of surviving said employment via the assignation of a similarly dangerous trial leave. Not put off by the thought of an abrupt and painful demise, please signal your intent to undertake this test. Very good. Oh, I almost forgot. Treants won't feel the effects of the bottle of solace unless you weaken them sufficiently first. I wish you fortune in your task. Select the item. Yeah. You've done good work today, friend. Still, with that self-styled king of the Quarrel Claws running the operation, the poachers are not like to yield easily. No, we must be more vigilant than ever. What king? Is there a noon I don't know about? Since the only members of the Quarrel Claws I've ever seen were female. I guess there's a male leader somewhere. You fought well for us today, friend. When Bowbury is reclaimed for our people, you can take pride in knowing that you struck a vital blow. Well, were you able to reclaim the axe from those bloody thieves? Were you able to get the Nettlebane back from those filthy hag ravens yet? Just as Grandfather always described it. You're a godsend, friend. Grandfather, I swear to you, the next time a red belly sees this axe, it'll be buried in his good-for-naught skull. I do have this, right? Yes, I do. The poacher escaped? Inexcusable! I should have known better than to entrust such a task to an adventurer. Those who defy the elementals must be served justice, or we all shall pay the price. You do well not to forget this. Alright, let's initiate that. So they need to be sufficiently weakened, huh? Okay. And job done. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but oh well. It seems I must congratulate you on completing the trial leave. Here is a reward to entice you to jeopardize your personal safety a second time. I am cautiously heartened by the knowledge that you are not certain to be summarily slaughtered, should you choose, or for whatever reason, to undertake a leave quest at some point in the future. Oh dear, I do hope I haven't just tempted fate. So, first guild leave person who has not been wanting me to take jobs. Everyone else, they want me to take their jobs. But this guy, he's like, please don't. I don't want you dying on me. I don't need you randomly dying. There you go. Have an apple. What brings you to Quarry Mill, adventurer? Mayhap you heard that our pact with the elementals permits hunting in this area. Do not think that gives you leave to strip the forest bare. A Sprite apple, my favorite. However did you know? From Fox, you say? The man is too kind. Why, each scrumptious bite brings me back to the days of... forgive me, friend. Oh, there was a quest here I didn't even notice. Sorry, miss. Oh. Oh, these are definitely useful. Oh man, I need both. I'll take the necklace. You couldn't have come at a better time, friend. I have a crisis on my hands here. What manner of crisis, you asked? Do you see this bottle of Muntu sauce? It's empty. Down to the last bottle. Down to the last drop. What the hell was that? What's that weird screen effect I just had? Of course it's a crisis. Why, if our guards find their supper wanting for flavor, they're like as not to turn their lances on me instead of our foes. Might you travel to Muntu cellars and obtain some from Masher Aramont to save a poor culinarian from this dire fate? No, seriously, what was that weird thing that just happened? I'm pretty sure that wasn't my eyes. Who knows? Maybe my eyes are going bad. You want me to introduce you to the Resistance? Why the hell should I do that? Give me just one reason. Herbert sent you? You're that worthless whoreson. He abandons his comrades, his woman, and now he has the gall to ask me for a favor. Simply incredible. I realize Herbert was only doing what he felt was right. He's a good man, and if he trusts you, then that's all I need to know. You see that bloke there? That's Meffred, a captain of the Resistance. I hope he can give you what you need. By the way, how is my gear looking? I definitely need a new ring, because this is worthless to me now. Well, sort of. I mean, when it comes to stats, it's nice, but item level is probably needing replaced, and well, actually, I don't know, but yeah, I don't get the benefits from the XP anymore, so I need to get rid of it. I'm Meffred, a proud man of the Alamegan Resistance. What business do you have with me, adventurer? Captain, it's Galleon, sir. His wound's gone and festered, and he's burning up. I don't think he's got much time. God damn it! I asked the villagers for aid, got on my knees and begged, but they refused to lift a finger. If Galleon dies, his blood is on their hands. These quarry mill cravens will turn a blind eye to our plight, but they might listen to Albreda. I fear my anger will prevent me from rightly convincing anyone at the moment. I realize we scarce know each other, but this is a matter of life and death. Please, adventurer, go to her and try. One of Mifrid's is in bad shape, you say? I'm sorry, but there's naught I can do. I want to help, truly I do. They're my countrymen, after all. But that mean going against the elementals' will. I've been at Quarry Mill long enough to know how right terrible the beings can be. I couldn't forgive myself if everyone gets banished because of me. If there's anyone who can help you, it be Charlin, the hamlet's resident hearer. If you take the matter to her, might be as she'll listen, though I wouldn't get my hopes up. You wish to aid the Alamegans? You are possessed of a kind heart, adventurer, but I'm afraid I have not the authority to grant you your wish. This authority belongs only to the elementals, eternal guardians of the Trollswood. All outsiders, be they babes at the breast or men grown, are judged of a night whether they may have a place beneath the bows. Alas, the Alamegans' petition has been denied. Harsh though it may seem, they do not have leave to receive of the wood's bounty. Never has it been since time immemorial, and never shall it be. That sounds like bullshit. The elementals are the ones in charge. And aren't they just beings of pure ether? Wait, wouldn't that make them primals? I have no idea. That's how it's to be, then. Bloody Hearer might as well kill Galleon herself. Spit on the elementals, and spit on their bloody will. I cannot wait until the resistance is free of this place. I led my men to Quarry Mill, hoping to find refuge. Instead, we found indifference. Cold-blooded bastards here want us out, and I can't oblige them soon enough. The problem is, some of mine aren't fit to travel. Hell's Galleon can't even stand. As you well know, the people of this accursed hamlet won't help us, so I've no choice but to turn to you, adventurer. In my homeland, long antelope horn is a traditional remedy with poison-purging properties. If you could bring me, say, 4 horns, I'd forever be in your debt. Adok's exhausted her supply again, has she? Told the woman time and again to order in bulk. I did, but she never listens. Hold your chuggalos, friend. The next battle will be ready for long. Where's your Muntu? Where's your moon? Where's your Muntu sauce? You say? Look, friend, Gridania wasn't built in a day. I'll tell you what, though. If you're so eager, how's about you help me put the finishing touches on my latest batch? You just might learn a thing or two in the process. Here on these shelves, I keep my stock of secret spices. What gives my Muntu sauce its distinctive punch, you ask? A perilla leaf, a dried dragon pepper, and an ounce of shroud pepper. Just toss all three in the Galfat, and Joffrey will take care of the rest. When the sauce is done, you're free to take a bottle to Aedoc. Not that it's like to put an end to her whining. Here we ferment the Muntu beans to make all sorts of wonderful, delicious products. Oh, how I love the smell of fermented beans. Shame my wife hates it. She won't touch me till I've bathed and washed my clothes. Oh, hello there. Apprenticing at the cellars for the day. Very well then. 1 perilla leaf, 1 dried dragon pepper, and an ounce of shroud pepper, and Eramont's done it again. As thanks for your help, this bottle is on the house. You're back! Oh, do tell me you brought my Muntu sauce. I swear to you, I just overheard a wood whaler talking about tossing me into the cauldron. The distinctive mouth-watering aroma of Muntu beans, topped off with Eramont's special blend of secret spices, no doubt. He has done it again. Thank you, friend. I dare say you've prevented a mutiny today. Ah, you're back. Tell me, you've got 4 horns with you. You're a godsend, adventurer. Praise Rolger. There's at least one man in this place who gives a damn. Now we just need to find a way to prepare them. You wouldn't happen to know a man named Buscarin, would you? Some comrades of mine told me about him once. They said he never turns away folk in need, no matter where they're from. Seeing as he runs a tavern, he's like to have the tools to make the medicine. I'd be grateful if you could take the horns over to him and have them ground down. When that's done, bring the powder back and give it to Faramund here. Godspeed. Ah, Byrnjolf, ever a sight for sore eyes. How fares the adventuring? Rolling in the coin like there's no tomorrow, no doubt. You've got something to show me. These look like good old antelope horns. Need them ground down to make a medicine, you say? Here's a better idea. I'll give you some of the stuff I have in my stores. I'm no stranger to the remedy. An Alamegan friend once used it to treat my festering wound years and years ago. Safe to say he saved my life. What's that? Is this for an Alamegan soldier in Quarry Mill? So it comes full circle. Well, I hope it helps the poor sod as needs it. Oh, and don't worry your little head off about payment. I still owe you a deal more than you owe me, I reckon. It is well to see you returned. Have you the medicine for our brother? If one is to believe Buscarin, this foul-smelling paste from Alamigo will stop a wound from festering. God bless you, adventurer. I'll see that Galleon receives treatment at once. Hopefully, this will allow the captain to rest easier. It has been a terrible burden on him, trying to keep every man alive. You've done us a great kindness, friend. Adventurer! Galleon has gone missing! He's nowhere to be found! He should be walking about, not with those wounds. If he doesn't get the proper medicine and rest, his condition's like to deteriorate to where it was before, or worse. We need you to help us find him, and quickly. Start by asking Albreda. Might be as the woman's seen something. Finally. It's about time you came asking about Galleon. I watched him leave Quarry Mill some time ago, and he left me with the sealed letter before he went off. We swear not to open it until someone came asking. My brothers, I cannot bear to be a burden any longer. That is why I must leave you all. Do not worry for me. Just find your way safely to little Alamigo. Blast it! Would that I'd known what he was thinking. I'd have stopped this folly myself. The love Galleon bears for his brothers is so strong, he's willing to sacrifice himself for them. Make no mistake, entering the wood in his weakened state is suicide. Out in the wilds alone? That fool! That great big sentimental fool! My men and I will scour the wood for Galleon. Please, help us find him before something terrible happens. Watch out! A goblin! Galleon! Captain! But why? You should all be on your way. Who do you take us for? We're Alamegans, and Alamegans never forsake one another. Hardships be damned. Remember the oath we swore, goddamn it. The oath to reclaim our homeland. We'll set foot on Alamegan soil again, together or not at all. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Good. Let us return to our brothers. Oh, and don't even think that you'll get off lightly. As soon as you're healed, I'll give you such a thorough thrashing you'll wish we didn't find you. I can't thank you enough for saving Galleon. I will see you back at Quarry Mill. Galleon's expected to make a full recovery. We'll linger here till he's strong enough to take on. We'll linger here till he's strong enough to take to the road again. As much as I mislike this place, beggars can't be choosers. Now that things are relatively settled, I seem to recall that you wanted something of me. You've proven a true friend to my people. Ask of me anything and it's yours, so long as it's mine to give. The cooperation of the people of Little Alamego. That's all? Far be it from me to question your desires, of course. Very well, I will provide you with a letter to show to Gundebold. The old bear was my mentor when I first joined the Resistance. He's intimidating to those who don't know him, but he takes care of his own. I've no doubt that he will do all in his power to aid you. Two daisies. Oh look, it's Mr. Leverman. No idea what they're doing. Why have you returned? You are not welcome here. I thought I made that clear. You spoke with Mefred. It has been so long since I last heard from him. I had feared him dead. Troll be praised. Whoever you are, Mefred sees you as a friend. And any friend of Mefred is a friend of mine. I know of this masked stranger you seek. I'll tell you what I know. I'll tell you what I can. An outsider resembling your masked stranger has reportedly been appearing near Little Alamigo of late. What's more, it seems that some of our young bloods are meeting him in secret. No doubt you'll want to question them about their trysts, but they are not like to yield the information readily to an outsider. If you tell them I sent you, though, they may well feel obliged to talk. Gundebald sent you? Listen, I told them it was a bad idea. All that tripe about believing the masked man and... Oh, you don't know anything about this. Why didn't you say so to start with? You can't throw the old bear's name around like that and expect me to not think I'm in for it. A masked man? No idea what you're talking about. I ain't done nothing wrong, so leave me be. What? Have I been meeting any masked men lately? Let's see. Nope, can't say I have. But I'll be sure to tell all my friends you're looking for him. There's a bunch been skulking about, right? Suspicious. Hang on. There's a bunch been skulking about, right? Suspicious like, but I've got nothing to do with them. I know trouble when I see it, and that there's trouble. Mark me words. So you have indeed confirmed my suspicions about a masked man. That is most troubling. Whatever the young ones are scheming, it can lead to no good end. There's an anger inside them. I can see it in their eyes. I ought to know, for it once burned within me as well. 2 decades ago, that same anger drove me and my brothers to rise against the despot who ruled Alamigo. Naught would do but to depose him and usher in the revolution. Well, we got our revolution all right, but it cost us our freedom. Blinded by our hate, we didn't realize that we had been dancing to the Empire's tune. By the time we did, it was too late. Alamigo had fallen. There are times when a man must be patient. Now is such a time, though the young ones know this not. Unless we intervene, they are like to commit great folly. If you learn aught of their plans, I would thank you to bring word to me. Hey, adventurer. You done talking with the old bear? I've got a message for you from Rulred. Lad's something of a leader among the young ones here. He's impressed that you've won over Gundobald and wants a word with you. Says he'll be waiting over at the craggy area north of here. Thanks for coming, friend. There's no ordinary outsider who can gain the trust of the old bear. That's why I wanted to meet you, to discuss something in private. Tell me, why are you snooping about? Did the Empire send you, or someone else? Cruel, got your tongue? No matter. Whoever it is you work for, your meddling ends here. Get him! Who am I targeting? I won't let you foil our plan. You're stronger than you look. That changes nothing. This changes nothing. Threaten us, beat us bloody, all you like. But nothing short of death can make us give up our fight. going to obtain the power to bring down the Empire, and with it we'll reclaim our homeland. Attacked by Wilred and his cronies, that they would go to such lengths for the sake of this plan of theirs. Left to their own devices, the young fools are like to harm others, if not themselves. We must uncover their agenda and put an end to this madness. I'm actually going to grab that instead of this, because I have a level 30 top, and I don't really want to replace it. Oh good, I can get a new bracelet. Perhaps you've heard of the Corpse Brigade. A nasty band of brigands that's been terrorizing these parts of late. Smuggling, thievery, cold-blooded murder of innocents. If you see any signs of foul play in these parts, like it's not the corpses are behind it. I'd like nothing more than to march into their hideout to the northeast and teach them a lesson. But I know when I'm outmatched. Normally I'd hesitate to trust a task to an outsider, but you seem a capable sort. Let's say you teach those scofflas a lesson. Wilred mentioned obtaining the power to bring down the Empire. Of what power could he be speaking? Gundebald? But Liana, God's preserve, what happened? I was out foraging when the Corpse Brigade came. They took me to their hideout and they... The whole while they laughed at me. They said that I suffer because I cling on to hope. Is it wrong to dream of home? Is it wrong to call ourselves Alamegans? Do not heed such poisonous notions, child. Our dreams are what sustain us. Be strong, I swear to you, those villains will answer for their crimes in due time. But tell me, does anyone else know of this? Wilred, he saw me outside. He was so angry. I must tend to Byrnjolf. In the meantime, I need you to find out what the young ones make of this. I fear that they may do something rash. Map of Zanrak. What those animals did to Byrnjolf is unforgivable, and to think they looked down on us. Well, I'll suffer this humiliation no more. I'm with Wilred to the bitter end. I'm not afraid of a few lizards. If this plan succeeds, we'll have the power to lay the Empire low, to change the world for the better. Might be as Gunbold's content to eke out an existence in this musty old cave, but I'll be damned if I'm going to spend the rest of my life here. Now, where in the seven hells did I put that bloody map? Don't check my back pocket, please. Almighty Rolger, Lord of Destruction, we implore you, lend us your strength and put an end to the suffering of your people. Here to interfere again? Well, you're too late. Our plan is already in motion. Once we have the crystals, our enemy will pay for their crimes, and no one will dare oppress us ever again. Oh. Hello there. Don't worry about me. Just being near everyone again eases my heart. Gone? The whole lot of them? Then it is as I feared. They mean to take matters into their own hands. But what exactly is it that they mean to do? They mean to summon a god. Well, a primal. What's this? A hunting knife. And a map of Zanrak? Wait, you said Wilred spoke of crystals, did you not? But they couldn't possibly mean to... By the gods, this is rank madness. Young fools are untrained and unbloodied all. They have no notion of how dangerous the Amulja are. They'll be butchered before they get within 100 yalms of the crystals. They are headed east, if we hurry. We may yet find them before it's too late. Thank you, outsider. Your victory is already the talk of the town. That may not mark the end of the Corpse Brigade, but at least now they know we're not afraid to fight back. And to think these men and women were once my countrymen. Do they know no shame? Back in the heyday of Alamigo, the Corpse Brigade served our nation with pride and honor. It saddens me to see what they have become. But I would slay them down to the last if it would ensure that they besmirch our homeland's name no more. Oh, they're all dead. Good job, guys. Bullred. Did no others survive? This is all wrong. Getting the crystals was supposed to be the start. We were going to reclaim our homeland. We... Pull yourself together, lad. We were going to make an offering of crystals to Rolger, to summon him, just like the masked man taught us. We plotted to sneak into Zanrak and make off with the lizardman's cash. But they caught us and so many dead. Gods forgive me.
Heathens! You shall pay for your crimes with your souls.
I regret our young one's transgressions, but a soul is too high a price for youthful folly. For all their failings, they are the hope of the Alamigan people. This hope I will guard with my life.
Your skill at arms is impressive, adventurer. Our wayward youths could learn much from a man like you. The battle is won, but it would be unwise to linger here. Let us return to Little Alamigo.
Wait! We've come all this way! We have to get the crystals! They're right there, ripe for the picking!
Have you learned nothing, Wilred? Did you not see those tempered wretches? Such is the fate of those who are touched by a god. Is that what you desire for yourself and your friends?
What? No! No one said anything about... The masked man told us we could defeat the Empire if we summoned Rolger. He swore.
Enough. I will hear the rest of this I will hear the rest of this sorry tale back in Little Alamigo. I dare say Byrnjolf will wish to hear it as well. No more lies, Wilred. Tell us everything.
I was outside with the others when he appeared. The masked stranger. He told us about summoning Rolger, about using crystals, and then just vanished. We never saw him again. I wanted so desperately to believe that we could raise ourselves from this squalor that I never stopped to question his motives. But I should have known. There's no solution. Nothing we can do to change our lot. Our people are doomed to live and die like beasts.
Listen to me, Wilred. Our home may be lost to us, but it takes more than stones and mortar to define who we are, no matter where we may be. Alamigo lives on within us all. It is for you to decide what to make of this legacy. But whatever you choose to do with your life, never forget that you owe it to this adventurer, an outsider.
I won't. I promise. Thank you for saving me, and sorry I tried to kill you.
My thanks as well, friend. It gives us hope to know that there are kind souls such as you out there. Little Alamigo may not have much in the way of comfort, but you will always be welcome here.
I wonder if that was the scene we were supposed to have at one point.
With that, we had more information to offer. But what Wilred told you is the extent of our knowledge of the masked stranger. Left unchecked, that man will bring about great pain and suffering. I pray that you'll find and put a swift end to the creature, for the sake of the young ones who died by his poisoned words.
Good day, Byrnjolf. I trust your investigation is faring well. So this does actually change by the, depending on the time of day. That's cool. Ingrid's still sitting there. Nothing's changed in there. Welcome back, Byrnjolf. I'm reliably informed the investigation took you to Quarry Mill and Little Alamigo. So tell me, were you able to learn aught of La Habrea? Yeah, he's been teaching summoning of primals. Planted a knowledge of summoning in impressionable young minds, you say? Precisely the kind of deception the Asians would employ. While many of the ills that ail the land can be attributed to the calamity, some are being brought about by a malign will. We must needs delve deeper into this, while things remain quiet on the primal front. Our work in our prey makes Winfilia a dull scion. Did you say something? Nothing, my lady. Mayhap we ought to rest a while before speaking further of the investigation. Gonna have a look around before I continue doing anything. Thancred's still there. And everything else is still normal. How am I doing for recording time? I'm doing alright. While you were attending to business in Tanalan, some new information arrived courtesy of our friends, the Sylphs. An individual fitting La Habrea's description has been sighted in the North Shroud. This sighting comes in the wake of a series of mysterious deaths in the selfsame area. My instincts tell me that our man is involved. I would have you continue your investigation where you left off. 12 willing, we will pick up La Habrea's trail once more. Neuraxia can furnish you with the details. Pray speak with her, and take it from there. As always, be careful out there, Byrnjolf. Walking One is to investigate Sinister One? Then heed well this one's words. This one is friends with a Walking One in the Ash Crown Consortium. According to Friendly One, a Digging One named Medred had an encounter with a scary Masked One. This Masked One is most certainly Sinister One. Walking One should go and speak with Digging One Medred. Digging One is to be found at Fulgord Float in the North Shroud. thought she said something else for a moment there. So one thing I really need to do is unload some of the garbage I have in my inventory. I don't want to sell anything just yet. Because there were some things I wanted to do, and a lot of that's crafting resources. So, best to hold on to that for the time being. So I'm gonna go get a retainer. After that, I'll head to Byrnjolf. A medicine merchant? Who are you? A what? Wait. I know what a Fantasia is, but... Oh, this is new. And yes, I would like to hire a retainer, please. And, sure. This was a character idea I was gonna mess around with, Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. It was just a character I was gonna mess around with on my own. I can think of several retainers that are exactly as you described. Lively, sure. I have no idea what kind of name I can use. Alright. Perfect. Alright. Let's give you all my ingredients here. It's a meal. I guess that would kind of be an ingredient, because I believe I was told that you can fix that through crafting. I don't remember the requirements for it. Why do I have so much of this stuff? Okay, I think I can sell something else I don't need. Oh, that's a regent. I should have given that to them. Well, actually, I'll go ahead and sell it. That'll go ahead and sell because I already have it. Looks like I just need to put everything into order here. Alright. That's been put into order. What is going on with this thing? Why, hello there, lad. Care to make some easy gill? You need only deliver a vial of my wares to a customer. I'll make it worth your while. Is this one of those swindles I'm supposed to report? Heavens, no! This is a perfectly legitimate job, and I would never lie to you. It simply isn't in my nature. Now that we understand each other, take this to the gladiator waiting on the steps of Nord. Once you receive his dues, bring them straight back here, and rest assured, I will know if you're even a gill short. This is taking forever. Maybe it really was too good to be true. An elegant glass bottle is generously filled to the top, though with what he couldn't say. Ah, thank you, sir. I've been waiting for what felt like an age, but finally it's here, my miracle draught. Oh, do you not know what this is? This, my friend, is a vial of the mysterious brew called Fantasia. Legend states that any who drink it before lying down for the evening awakens a new man or woman. My Colosseum debut is coming up, and I'm terribly nervous, so I thought this medication might bestow me with the self-confidence I lack. And a chiseled, muscly body besides. I can't wait to show off in my subligar. Take this to the medicine merchant with my compliments. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to make my dreams come true. Good, you're back. And with my payment, I expect. Every last gill accounted for. I knew you'd be right for the job. Now for your payment. But what's this? A friend of yours? Can't say I recognized him. My client? You mean that little Lollafell in Gladiator? Your potion just turned a Lollafell into a hire. Well, yes, isn't that what your medicine does? Who's to say? I have no way of proving that man was indeed my client. But if it would sate your curiosity, I believe I can spare you a vial for your own experimentation. Now, my business here is done. We will meet again someday, though whether we recognize one another is less certain. Well, I got a Fantasia potion now. I'm not going to be using it. Mainly because I already have the appearance I want. If anything, it's the hair I'll change. So where am I going again? I meant to go to the airship. Oops. Hang on a minute, didn't I get a little thing? Huh. I already got it. Interesting. I just don't remember right-clicking it. Britannia, please. Oh, yeah, that's, Oh. Alright. She's never ignored a summons before. Beg your pardon, sir, but would you be willing to aid a fellow adventurer? It's about my retainer. She hasn't returned from her latest venture to Nine Ivies, and I fear something terrible may have happened. I would track her down myself if I could, but I've an important appointment I must needs keep. Mayhap you could go and search in my stead? Bless you, adventurer. So focused was I on my task that I took no notice of the buzzards at my back. You seem confused. Have you heard naught of ventures? It is a service in which we retainers carry out procurement expeditions on behalf of our employers. Alas, some are not wont to furnish us with sufficient equipment. Despite the obvious benefits, it would afford both parties. Has he been summoning me this entire time? Pray excuse me. Forgive me, master. I was waylaid by beasts. Yes, by a Huron gladiator. How did you know? Of course, as you wish. It seems I must take my leave at once, but before I go, pray allow me to thank you. I have not to recompense you with, but should you inform my supervisor, Parnell, of your deeds, I am confident she will see fit to reward you. May we meet again, my friend, and do not forget to visit Parnell in the shaded bower. Greetings, sir. I have been expecting you. The retainer you rescued was most effusive in her praise. Retainers are, of course, permitted to refuse a venture which they determine to be too dangerous. Alas, this particular young woman is new to the profession and was thus easily persuaded by her employer to accept. Beg your pardon? You would like to know more about ventures? Certainly. It would be my pleasure to explain. In cooperation with the Adventurers Guild, we have established a new system through which retainers may be dispatched to procure items for their employers. Should you wish to avail yourself of this additional service, you will need to pay your retainer in advance with ventures. Script issued by the Adventurers Guild. Here, pray accept these complimentary ventures with my thanks. Bear in mind that most retainers lack the skill to carry out all but the most menial of tasks. Of course, as they grow more experienced, that will change. If this sounds daunting, let me assure you that it's simple in practice. Why not speak with your retainers and see what they think? My retainer's busy taking a nap, so I won't worry about that right now. Please leave me be. I'm not long for this world. I look death in the face. 'Tis only a matter of time before he comes for me, just like he came for that poor woman. You're right. It's not as bad as it seems. I saw something terrible, that's true, but that hardly means I'm going to suffer the same fate. Thanks to you, I can think straight again. I believe I can even recount what I saw without losing it. It was just another ordinary day. I was headed back to the float when I noticed a suspicious character in the distance. A masked man garbed head to toe in black. He had a hideous fiend in tow, a winged creature that was all eyeball and jagged teeth. Taken by curiosity, I crept as near as I dared. To see the corpse of a woman, one glimpse was enough to tell me that she died a gruesome death. In that instant, I knew right away that the masked man was a minion of Thal, come to claim her soul for his realm. What? You're investigating the same masked man? If that's the case, we'll help you in whatever way we can. Aye, anything to ensure that we won't have to suffer Medred's hysteria ever again. All right, teamwork! That's what I wanted to... Wait, I haven't been that bad, have I? At any rate, I'm all for helping this adventurer. It's the least I can do to repay him for comforting me. Okay. I think with that, I'm going to be done, because I've been going at this all day. Even though it's been 3 hours according to the recording. But I've been doing a whole bunch of other recordings as well. And tomorrow's a work day, so I have to get up really early in the morning. And I'm also hungry and would like something to eat. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.